welcome to our final performance of La Mesita Season 11. You're listening to WLPN LP 105.5 Lumpen Radio, Chicago. We are currently broadcasting from our spring final exposition here at Yollocalli Art Reach. Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Asin, and I'm here with
Juno.
And today we have a special guest.
Since his 2019 debut, Bad Mosh, Chicago-based producer LAPGAN has been remixing Indian music. For his most recent album, Duniya Kya Hai, LAPGAN mostly uses music from Pakistan and India. He creates intricately layered down-tempo rhythms by studying the soundtracks of Lollywood and Bollywood music, or films. The soundtrack to A Fabled Fight Durga Doesn't Approve is ominous trip-hop with grotesque percussion and unsettling atmospheres. On Miss Lovely, a lengthy, melancholy jazz-heavy suite that resembles the score of an Indian noir film, LAPGAN adds another layer of trip-hop. LAPGAN's exploration of these samples in so many different ways throughout shows that producers have barely begun to scrape the surface of South Asian music. Now, with all that being said, let's meet our guest for today.
What's up? What's up?
Hello and welcome, LAPGAN. Thank you for joining us today, and we're very grateful to speak with you and have you on our show.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful to be here as well.
Before we get started, how are you feeling today?
Feeling pretty good. Yeah, feeling pretty good, I would say.
That's good. I'm feeling pretty nervous. So before we start with everything, how do you do your hair? Because it's so fabulous.
Oh, thank you so much. That's a good question, actually. Actually, I haven't cut my hair since COVID, and so I never used to have hair like this. And then, COVID happened, and I just stopped cutting it. And every day is different. Sometimes it turns out nice. Sometimes it's okay. Yeah. I shampoo probably 2 to 3 times a week. But yeah, no products really.
Oh,
it's all natural.
That's cool. Actually, I thought you would use products or something.
Yeah.
But sometimes a little coconut oil or something, but that's about it.
Interesting.
Do you use curling cream to help it curl?
Nah, it just curls on its own. It's got a mind of its own.
Nice.
All right. Well, I guess we could get started with the questions now. What is your favorite thing about your culture?
Dang, that's a good question. So many things. It's really hard to choose one. I think probably the family-oriented aspect of everything. I think more than anything is just kind of the close-knit families and all that. But yeah, I don't know. The music, the art, the food, everything really. I love it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Can you tell us about the importance of incorporating culture in your art?
Yeah, this is also another good question. Yeah, for me, I guess I don't really think too much into it. I think when I first started making this and incorporating Indian and Pakistani samples, it was kind of I don't know. I just felt something when I was hearing this music, and just kind of I was just gravitated towards it. And I think initially it was just kind of just flowing and just letting things happen. And now I think I guess it's just cool to kind of archive and reimagine some of the art that's been shared for a long time. And so yeah, I mean, we got a lot of dope art, so it's cool to share it with the world, and I'm glad that more people are listening to and showing respect to South Asian artists.
Interesting. What made you start beat making? What age? First tools? What was your music scene like growing up?
All right, this is a good question too. I think I first started making beats 10 years ago. My cousin was also a beat maker, and he was making brain dance, electronic music, and so I never really. I've always been a music fan, listened to music growing up, but I never really thought about making music. I played piano, but he started making music on Ableton, and he showed me how to do it. and I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. And then around the same time, I was listening to like a lot of Flying Lotus and Toki Monster. Like it was like, I think like 2010, like 2011, 2012, something like that. But like the beat scene was like burgeoning in LA, and like low end theory was kind of happening, and that was like very inspiring to me. I think like I just would like sit in my room and just like listen to like beats for hours and hours and hours, and then started messing around with it myself, and it's been like 10 years now, just like practicing as much as I can, trying to get better. But yeah, just having fun with it.
10 years is a long time. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, 10 years. I guess it's been 10 years. But if you love something, then I mean, you're gonna keep doing it, I think.
What does the process of beat making and putting together a set look like?
Cool question. All right, so beat making for me, all my stuff is like pretty much sample based. So the majority of it is all sample based. So like it usually starts with me listening to a record or listening to, you know, some old stuff on YouTube, and like kind of just sometimes just listening for fun. Sometimes I'm like digging, like listening for like, all right, I'm trying to make something, and like you'll hear like a break, or you'll hear like a melody or a vocal chop or something like that, and like inspiration kind of just comes, and like then you get started with it, and and then like it's just flow for me. It's like I think like once I get the first idea, I just start creating, and if things go well, it comes out good, but you know, a lot of times it doesn't. You just gotta, it's kind of a grind for me, at least. I spent a lot of time doing it, and just get into the flow state. And then live sets, I'm just kind of like, I don't have too much experience with them. I'm just starting to do more of them. So the set I'm gonna do later is like, it's like only the second iteration of like the type of live set that I've ever done. So it should be a fun kind of little experiment. But basically, I just kind of deconstruct all my songs into like their bass parts, like, you know, bass, drums, vocals, melodies, all that. And then, kind of just like live remix and mess around and kind of experiment. And we'll see what happens. I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to, you know, refine my live set. But right now, just having fun with it.
I think, oops. I think that's a good way to see it, you know. We've noticed on your Instagram and music videos you like incorporating Bollywood and Lollywood into your visuals. Why?
I think I don't know, there's like something really beautiful, especially about the old Bollywood. Like the new Bollywood, like every era of Bollywood has like a different feel to it. I think it's like a different vibe, and like the old stuff, like 60s, 70s, 80s, I don't know, man, like the just like the quality, like the vintage feel of the clips, and like the coloring, and I don't know, it's all dope. It's just super cool. And I think when I first started making beats, I just wanted to kind of have like a cool visual component to go with it. So that was just like for fun, and also just like to share, like I think as you mentioned earlier about like sharing the culture. So it's another aspect of our culture that I think is pretty dope. So, you know, remixing and showing it.
Yeah, when I was watching all of your music videos, I could not stop looking at the screen. Like the whole time I was just zoning out, because it's like hypnotizing kind of. I don't know. It's really nice to look at.
That's true.
Yeah, it's very like the style of it, and like how it could be different in different cultures. It's nice, because like I know their outfits are like very, very pretty.
The outfits are dope. Yeah, they got really, really cool outfits. Yeah, like that's another thing. Indian fashion is, you know, it's in its own lane, but I think it's definitely influencing people around the world. But like Indian clothes are beautiful, colorful, elaborate.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite directors or Bollywood films?
Okay, good question. So Indian directors or just directors in general?
I say like directors in general.
Okay, yeah. And what was the second part of the question again?
Favorite
films?
Yeah,
okay.
Bollywood films.
Bollywood films, yeah. I think directors. I like Iñárritu a lot. Yeah, he's probably one of my favorites. I forget the guy's name, but the guy who did Triangle of Sadness, Force Majeure, and The Square. I don't know his name, but I think those are 3 movies he directed. I like that. I like him. But yeah, Indian films. Yeah, I grew up in the 90s, so watching 90s Bollywood was really. Oh, actually, sorry. There's one more person, Satyajit Ray. He's an Indian director who directed stuff way back in the day. So that was like, those are some old, a lot of black and white stuff, kind of like really kind of deep, realistic films. But yeah, in the 90s, I mean, I grew up on like 90s Bollywood rom-coms. Like that's what we grew up on. Like Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. That was a classic movie that like my friend always had playing in his basement. There's a movie called Dil Se. I think it's one of the best soundtracks of all time, especially in Bollywood, in like 90s Bollywood. So the movie is like, it's an interesting movie. I don't know if it's my favorite movie, but the soundtrack is really good. Yeah, those are the first 2 that come to mind. Definitely, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai is a classic. So if you're trying to like watch a Bollywood film, that's a good one to start with.
Yeah, I watched like one Bollywood film. I don't remember the name, but I really loved it because I know in the movie they end up together, and also in real life because they end up together.
Do you remember what happened?
No, but I remember the song. I know one of the song. Well, mainly I know that the word has been repeated. It's Tere Bina.
Tere Bina. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what movie. I think then Without You.
I've never watched a Bollywood film, but I really do want to watch one with my dad someday.
Yeah, fair warning, like some of them are really long. There's actually like intermissions built into almost every film.
Yeah, he told me that some are like 3 hours.
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So definitely.
That made me just a little bit not wanting to watch them, but I'm gonna try.
You can also watch like the songs too.
True. Okay. Well, which instruments do you incorporate in your music the most?
In terms of like what I play or what I sample?
I guess sample.
Okay, sampling. Drums. I think definitely Indian percussion, like Pakistani percussion. All the stuff from those movies, there's like a lot of interesting instruments and rhythms. So I'm always looking to kind of, layer my drums with some cool sample percussion. Yeah. I mean, other than that, like there's like 60s, 70s Bollywood stuff. There's always good bass lines. I'm always looking for a good bass line.
Do you like incorporating non-traditional sounds in your music?
Yeah, what do you mean by non-traditional?
Like water drops, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. Ambience, textures, weird sounds. Yeah, anything that I hear that's kind of like weird and like psychedelic. Like there's definitely a lot of that psychedelic influence in some of the 60s, 70s Bollywood stuff. So yeah, looking for all that stuff. Anything weird, I'm down with it.
Yeah, because I know sometimes weird sounds are just like so interesting to me. Even I also tried making my own song. It was okay.
Yeah. What kind of sounds do you use?
Like drums, electric guitars, screamo vocals.
Cool.
So for your last record, what was it? What was the process of putting the whole album together like?
For my last record, so yeah, I guess like the roots of it started from like probably a trip to India where I got some actual records and went vinyl shopping. So I think like some of the stuff from that last record was from that. But then I think a lot of it was I found a lot of like I didn't really know about Lollywood, so everyone knows about Bollywood, but but Lollywood is like the music industry of Lahore, which is in present-day Pakistan. And that's where like my grandparents are from present-day Pakistan, from Lahore. So it was really interesting for me to like, I think I was just like on the internet one day and found some Lollywood music, and I was like, whoa, this is super dope. Sounds kind of like some of the Bollywood stuff, but also kind of different, but really good. And so I kind of just dove into like a YouTube kind of, I don't know, just like searching every corner of YouTube basically for what I could find. And yeah, I basically spent like probably like 6 months just going through stuff and like listening to hundreds of songs.
Wow. What was like the most interesting song to put together?
Okay. From that one, probably Durga Doesn't Approve. The one the battle song you're mentioning. It's the longest one. I think it's the longest track I've ever put out, and yeah, it just kind of like happened. I was like, I don't know, just finding different parts and just getting inspired, kind of like creating a world for myself while I was just like sitting there. Yeah, I liked the vocals. I liked the bass on that. Yeah, I guess yeah. I don't think too much about. I think that one I made probably in like a couple hours, at least the original idea, and just like, yeah, came through.
I really like the visuals of that one. It was really interesting.
Yeah, that was an interesting visual. I was like looking for something specific, and actually that is like a Bollywood or some like Indian movie live version of Durga, which Durga is an Indian goddess, and so yeah, that was like a kind of a political one when I was making it. But yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah, I remember I was having a lot of questions about it because of all the political stuff that was surrounded in the video.
What's like your favorite samples, and like if you remember where they're from? Yeah, like what are your favorite ones?
Not that I've made. Like stuff that I like to listen to.
I guess you could say stuff that you like to listen to.
Okay. Probably my favorite sample of all time is this track by Fortet. The track's called Unspoken. It's from his album Rounds. I think it was like in, I don't know when it came out, like 2000 or something like that, but it's like a 9-minute track. And the main sample is like some Joni Mitchell sample that he found. And actually the interesting thing is like the record that got put out and that's like pressed to vinyl is actually not that sample. There's like a version floating on SoundCloud or YouTube with that one on there. But yeah, it's a beautiful song. It's like 9 minutes long. It's hypnotizing.
So for your upcoming shows / projects, is there anything in the works that you're that you're currently brewing up and we should look out for?
Yeah, actually there is. My new project I've been working on for the last like year and a half is it's called History, and it's coming out sometime in June. But yeah, that's an interesting one. Like I met this guy when I was in India 2 years ago. His name's Nishant. Super cool guy. He was yeah, basically he ended up living like right next to my grandma, and I went over to his house, and he's a record collector, and he basically has like, that's his thing. He basically like collects records and goes to different parts of India and finds like the coolest, weirdest records. And so I went to his house, bought a bunch of records from him, and for the last like year and a half, my parents, whenever they go, they bring back some records. We talk, and he sends some stuff through them, and he's got like stuff from all over India, like different corners, different languages. So yeah, the variety of stuff that he hooked me up with kind of inspired the upcoming record. Yeah, and then I think I have a couple shows coming up this month and next month too.
Are you excited for those shows?
Definitely, yeah. I'm trying to level up my live set game. So yeah, we'll see what's going on later today. But I'm excited. I'm excited to keep messing around and trying new things and experimenting and yeah, making it fun for myself too. I think that was one thing when I first was doing live shows that I just kind of felt like I was pressing buttons. Now I'm kind of like enjoying it. the process. So yeah, I'm excited.
Lastly, here at Yollocalli, we love our snacks. So, what's your favorite snack?
Damn, favorite snack. Okay. Well, my favorite snack is probably like this Indian street food. It's called bel puri. It's really good. It's yeah, that's my favorite snack. It's basically like a bunch of like crunchy stuff, a couple chutneys, like some fresh tomatoes, some potato, some onions. I don't know if that qualifies as a snack, but it's yeah, that's probably my favorite like little bite to have. But other than that, like I like popcorn. Like yeah, that's a simple snack.
Popcorn. I also like popcorn.
Yeah,
I just hate the way it smells in the microwave.
Oh, I do stovetop popcorn. So
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
what about you guys? What's your favorite snack?
I like this Korean street food. It's called tteokbokki. Like it's good. It's like rice cake, and sometimes they like put fish on it, and it's like very good.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, I also like takoyaki. It's like a Japanese street food, like fried octopus. Yeah, what about you?
I don't really have a favorite snack, honestly. I kind of just like everything.
That's cool.
Well, thank you for being on our show today. Is there anything else you'd like to mention in front of the camera?
Nah, thank you guys. It's been cool. This is my first official interview, so thank you. History coming out sometime in June. The date's not set yet, but keep your eyes and ears open.
Well, we're glad that we're your first interview, and we are Sonic Vibes, and this has been La Mesita with LAPGAN.
Remember, you have been listening to WLPN LP, Chicago 105.5 FM Lumpen Radio, Chicago, broadcasting from the final exhibition here at Yollocalli in Little Village.
But don't go anywhere. Up next, a performance by LAPGAN.
शोकेस में एक ब्रेसलेट बना, उसमें देखिए यार शीतल तू मरवा देगी यार। आज मैं एक ज्वेलर शॉप के सामने से गुजर रहा था तो शोकेस में एक ब्रेसलेट पर नजर पड़ी और न जाने क्यों अचानक मुझे आप लगता है। मैंने सोचा ये ब्रेसलेट इतना अच्छा नजर लेकिन गम ये क्या होता है?
वेरी 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 स्वीट। जब तुम ऐसी बात करती हो बताऊं क्या लगते हो?
क्या लगता है?
कापुची कापुची गम गम।
कापुची कापुची गम गम ये